telling you, I don't like to live around extreme poverty. It reminds me, I'll tell you a little story, and I think it's very representative. I was invited to speak at a conference held by NASDAQ, where they invited the top 100 executives from NASDAQ corporations to Florida. And they asked about 5 members of Congress to come down and speak to them and involve yourself in the conference for 2 days. And we did. And one of the young presenters was not a member of Congress. She was a top executive that was invited. And she was about 40, 42 years old. Very good looking and probably had enough money to look younger than she really was. So I can't quite tell how old she was. But I did find out she was worth about $4.5 billion. And she was about as extreme right as you could get. She was against Social Security. She was against Medicare. She was against Medicaid. She was against public health. I mean, she was against everything. She was even against public education. She believed that your responsibility to pay for your own kids' education. If you can't afford it, you know, let them remain ignorant. Well, anyway, I spent 2 or 3 days trying to convince her of the importance of universal health care. To not. She just thought I was a socialist, a communist, the worst of things. And it was nice, but we were really philosophically arguing the point. The last day when we were getting ready to leave, and this happened, this conference occurred. You remember the SARS thing in Asia? It was like influenza symptoms. And a lot of Asians came down with it. The only way to stop it was to totally isolate people because it was highly contagious. Well, we're coming down to our final luncheon, and we're on the elevator together from the conference room, maybe on the 10th floor, we're going down the 1st or 2nd floor. And the elevator stops on the 7th floor, and this Chinese couple get on the elevator. And you could hear them speak half Chinese, half English, but you could pick up that they just arrived from Hong Kong. And they were both coughing profusely. You know, really coughing. So they went down with us. We got off at the 1st floor, and I said to her, look, I'm going to stay and work with these folks a little, because I think they need help. You go on into lunch, and I'll join you. And I went to stay. Well, I didn't work with these folks, because they were okay. But I waited for about 10 minutes, and then I went into the lunch, and particularly frightening thoughts, so that I was looking a little more pale and disconcerted. And I went in and sat down, and she said, what's wrong with you? What happened? I said, well, those folks. I said, you know, it's just the point we were talking about, the need for universal health care. I said, I think we're going to have to send them to the hospital in quarantine because they think they may have SARS. They were exposed coming over in the aircraft from Hong Kong. And they answered. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, SARS, if you're in a contained unit like an aircraft, the chances are probably 1 in 4 that you're going to be contaminated. And I said, gee, wherever you, I said, that's why I'm for universal health care. You know, maybe saving my life to save somebody else's life. She said, well, how's it work in the elevator? I said, oh, geez, it's probably almost everybody in the elevator. Suddenly a bell goes off in her head. She said, you know, Congressman, maybe you're right. We may need universal health care. So, you know, what the argument I'm making here is that we have to find a way to convince even those that are opposed to what is good humanitarian principles, even if for selfish purposes, to save themselves, we have to find a way. We need universal health. Now, it goes back to the issue that we can't have total paid for universal health care. I mean, a guy that wants to get drunk for 50 years, and when his kidneys burn out, can't expect to get kidney transplants on the back of somebody that never drank, worked hard, and ran, and practiced good health practices. There has to be discrimination. Why? Because we just can't afford it. Everybody can't get all of the best treatment in the world. We go absolutely broke. Imagine when we get to bionics. Everybody wants some hips, everybody wants some knees, everybody wants, you know, and then pretty soon everybody's going to want a new face, everybody's going to want implanted teeth. What the hell? There's no end. Now, the reality is, I think you have to be very practical. You need a standard of care, a universal standard of care. Everybody should be vaccinated. Everybody should get yearly examinations. everybody should be treated for diabetes. Everybody, these uniform diseases, because it actually reduces the cost. It makes it safe for everyone. And but some people, we as a people, philosophically, are going to have to work through this idea that there will be discrimination. And if people want a better care system, they're going to have to contribute something for it. So there will be health insurance that even gives greater quality. But we certainly need some uniform health. If you think about it in children, all of us send our children to school. What the hell if only the rich kids could get smallpox vaccinated and the poor kids couldn't? What the hell good is that? Half the kids in school are going to die from smallpox. And that's what you're really talking about. So, those cares, vaccinations, cares that people need. But we can't give universal psychiatric treatment forever if it's kept away. So, I think we can come up with a concept. But this fight between no health care or the type of health care we have today is just unacceptable. It's terrible for everybody, including industry. It's terrible for American industry to compete with Canadian industry. When they bid on something, the Canadian industry doesn't have to include a cost for health care. In the United States, we do. Well, 8 to 10% of a bid is health care costs, and ever going up. So anyway, there are things we can do. What I would hope, and that's going back to this telephone call I just had with the President's Chief of Staff. I fervently pray tonight that down there in the White House, the President concludes that there's no pleasure in fighting for 16 or 17 months for some short-term political gain. That all Americans, and I've met with hundreds of Americans just over the last couple of weeks that I've been home, several thousand, we want some solutions. And we don't want perfect solutions. We know the world's not perfect. But I think the great frustration that's out there, that all of us feel, is, damn, isn't anybody doing anything? Or aren't they capable? I know in the back of your mind you must be saying, damn, I like that Paul. He was a nice guy when I first voted for him. But how the hell can he be down in Congress and not be sensitive to my problems? Well, I'm trying to say I am sensitive. I can't solve them alone. Any single party can't solve them alone. We've got to bring the country together. I don't care who in the hell wins the next president. I like to be a Democrat. But I prefer, if we could get our heads together, and that's what I told the President on the plane. Look, I remember when his father increased taxes, if you remember, he cost himself the presidency right after the first Iraq War. I'm convinced this president could get together with a committee of Congress, House and Senate, go out to Andrews Airfield, Idaho, go up to Camp David, and make a commitment. We aren't coming out until we have an agreement, bipartisan, of what we're going to do in Iraq. Nobody has the absolute solution. There is no absolute correct solution. I can tell you, though, if we stay there for the next 16, 18 months, another 1,000 kids are going to die, another 10,000 are going to be injured, and probably 100,000 Iraqis are going to be injured. And we're going to be no further along in the process than we are right now.
Well, I'm going to look to you, and I think everyone here is, to tell us, for you to tell us how it is we go about our life and how we get there. And I think most of the people are here in this room because they trust you. And they want to hear your guidance to say, we're going to get there, and here's how. It may take a little longer than we want right now, but I don't want it to take the 18 months. But this is kind of where I'm working toward. And I think that'll make everybody feel a little bit better about what they're going through.
Yeah, and I do want to go back to that issue. What can we do with voting out? That would be my very last resort to stop the fund.